So, those of you on YouTube side, I did Dead by Daylight reviews, and then I played a little bit of Dead by Daylight. I'm rusty as hell, and I'm absolute trash at that game. I wasn't satisfied at all by the end of my Dead by Daylight run. So, yeah, feeling bad. Feeling real bad. Um, whatever reason, it's saying Rocket League has a 2.9 gigabyte upload, but it does not. Because I literally said download now, and it's not downloading now, so I don't know what's going on. Um, Good thing it's the beginning of the stream, huh? I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Let me sort this real quick. Alright, I think that's taken care of now. I'm launching it now. Hope for the best. Boy. Of course, now that the new update's done, I'm gonna have to launch Rocket League twice, because, Steam, Rocket League, some shit's broken. They really need to fix that shit. Also, why is OBS taking 60% of my fucking GPU right now? That's insane. Oh, it's all of the browser pages and shit, because I didn't unload them when not being in use. Oh well, I'm not too terribly worried about it. Yeah, OBS just kills GPU. Rocket League kills CPU, so it's a very good balance. Well, it doesn't really kill CPU, it only uses like 20%, but still. Nope, the limited time mode is still there. At least they have a details thing now that lets you go through this. 5 days left on it. Interesting. Alright. But yeah, as I was saying, I played Dead by Daylight earlier, and I took about 5 minutes of time, so I'll just add 5 minutes to the end of this hour-long stream. That's fine. I played Dead by Daylight, and I kept making like the dumbest decision making and things like that because I haven't played the game in fucking forever. And yeah, I basically costed myself every escape or any type of rank ups that were any type of significant every time I played a match. My decision making is just not good anymore. Also, my controller is it's gonna cause an issue, but I'm not too worried about it. I'll only be on an hour, so I'm not too worried about fixing the controller right now. I'll just have to deal with it. It feels like it's like loose as shit. You know, like when the springs and shit in the controller wear off and your controller's just like floppy as shit and feels super loose. That's what it feels like right now, like something finally completely broke in it. Interesting. I don't even know why he flipped again towards that. That was a good pickup. Because I knew it was going to go out towards middle, but teammates weren't smart enough to pick that up. He just stopped moving, and the other teammate went up the wall for whatever fucking reason. It's easier to jump up and save the ball than to be on the goddamn wall when it comes to situations like that. I don't know what the hell he was aiming at. Oh, I missed. Might not have got a good play out of that, but I did force him to throw the ball away. So that's still a positive reaction from that. As long as they're not maintaining control, it makes it awkward, and all they can do is just send the ball away like that. He went for boost. What a play. What a play indeed. How the fuck are you so ignorant that you literally went right by? Again, cover ball before you go for boost, and you won't ever run into that problem. As he was going all the way across goal, he missed all of these boost pads that he could have picked up. Because he went from one side to the other side of the field, one to another. Easily could have picked up a couple of boost pads and been fine to get to more boost or afterwards after securing the ball. Him flipping into that boost puts him out of position, but it doesn't look like it matters. Yeah, you can air dribble, but you're not doing anything to help the team. This is the type of useless shit that pisses me off. I'm glad that you can air dribble and all of that, but the fact that you keep pushing farther and farther out and putting it basically into their pocket and not looking for teammates and all of that makes it, thank you. Oh, he didn't push that. Why are we faking that? You should have definitely taken that from me. He missed this flip reset, so he'll take it to the wall. They always take it to the wall. I don't know, this team's gonna make me have to stop and fix my controller, because unfortunately, they're very bad, but they are playing as a team, which makes up for their fucking lack of play. Or lack of skills, I should say. And I'm playing bad, which is making up for their lack of skills as well. You shouldn't have hit that from me, brother. I had that shit perfectly planned out where he's gonna hit it back into my car and give me full control to take it downfield. Him hitting it away from me just ruined that. That's a goal opportunity gone. Good flick. Alright, I'm gonna have to fix my shit. It's like he knew my controller's fucked up and I couldn't actually go up for that. Alright. No, it still feels loose. I might even fucking go in and adjust my fucking stiffness and shit again, didn't I? That's what it feels like, is somebody's just adjusting my settings. I can't turn properly to actually dribble. And it's causing quite a bit of problems. That's too stiff. I can't turn, like, at all now. Fuck it. Just play it fucking loose as shit, I don't care. I'm not doing an extended play session, so it doesn't really matter. You keep annoying me, and I'm gonna turn up the heat on you. I'm very tired of you fucking coming in and fucking trying to do these dumbass bump plays and shit. You're overcommitting, and you should be ashamed of yourself for it. That's another basically open fucking net from you being out of position. Stay out of our side of the field, quit fucking overcommitting, quit trying to get these dumbass bump plays and shit, and just go back and defend your fucking net. Goddamn scumbag. He could have redirected that. We would have been in better shape. That made that awkward as fuck for their defender. My attacker just couldn't sink that shot. That's him. Yup. I should have just jumped for it. But, you know. Okay. They are so sloppy. Good God. Okay. I was gonna catch that, but that works too. Don't find an instant match. I want to go in and adjust my goddamn settings or some shit. Actually, I can probably just do it through. Well, no, the controller's seated. It just feels loose as shit. There we go. It's a little bit stiff, but it's a lot better. But you can't go like it goes by 0.5. You see, that's too loose and the other way's too stiff. I would rather have it at 0.15 than 0.20 though. Even though it's harder to dribble and all of that. You need that fluidity of movement. Don't know why he left goal for that. It was obvious I couldn't get back to that. Or even if I did decide to challenge it, there's no way he's gonna get to that. That's just an open net. If he would have stayed and let me hit them or force him to hit it over me, that was free ball control. The type of shit that I'm talking about. Why are we triple committing in the fucking middle for no goddamn reason? Lost goals like that is just a piss off. Easily preventable. How did you not score that? Why? Why are we double committing that shit? I'm there. Why? Go the fuck back. Stop fucking cutting rotations. Can you not? Thank you. Fucking get out of here. Holy shit, that's annoying. Motherfucker sees a GC title and he's one of the ones that go fucking stupid. I'm playing against a GC. I need to play better. I'm gonna fucking cut every teammate, leave the goal open, and try and play fast. And he didn't score that. Oh my. They're both up, so all I can do is really stall. Oh, they're faking. They love the fake. Okay, I see the strategy. Different play styles. Don't. I popped that for myself, by the way. I popped that up so I could get under it and take it. And they just keep fucking taking the ball from me. Nobody likes to set up their own shit. But everybody's readily available to fucking take somebody else's fucking touches. I just saved that from being sniped into our goal, by the way, because my teammate readily fucking passed it to them. It is annoying as fuck, by the way, trying to block teammates from fucking pushing that shit to them. These are not good pinch opportunities. They're forcing me to hit the fucking ball when I don't want to. He was too slow. Way too slow on that. He should have tapped that off his side and then immediately shot that shit. Or flicked that shit or anything, man. Way too slow on that turnaround. Put it down here and make it awkward for him. I can't rely on my fucking teammates. Again, they're both fucking double committing in mid-boost. Like, what the actual fuck? Why are you challenging that? I am literally there. Regardless if I miss it or not, the only thing you can beat me with is by hitting it like that. It gives you free ball control. And you don't even fucking take it. You don't even fucking take it. Look at that easy ass fucking ball control opportunity and he backflips. Because he's trying to pre-jump and do all kinds of other crazy shit. Didn't we just... I'm already tired of teammates. I ain't even been on an hour. And I'm over this shit. Oh, shit. Oink. Right on in. He's always out of fucking position, baby. He went all the way across goal, and he's going for boost or some other type of fucking crazy shit. Make him hit it early, at least. You see how I covered the ball without interfering with this play? That's all you have to do. Is cover the ball where anything bad happens, but not go for a dumb pinch or some shit that's going to cause problems. Should have faked that. I was 100% sure at that point that he was going to fake low. The only way he could have scored that, but he didn't. Maybe their team ain't as good as I thought they were. I don't know. As you can see, I'm not really motivated. Teammates cutting me off and shit like that. Just kind of, it's not it, Chief. Not it. I mean, you took your time in the corner with an enemy behind you. Why are you surprised that you got bumped? It literally took his sweet time. An enemy just flew over your, or opponent, just flew over your head. So he's definitely behind you. But instead of being in a hurry to get the ball away from him, or waiting for him to pass you up and do whatever he's going to do, you take your sweet ass time and then he bumps you. And then your teammate comes up. Okay. Interesting. You're not that good, son. Get out of here. Ah. I wish this game had like reverse friendly fire like Siege has. The way where somebody continuously bumps you, you can just turn that shit on and they'll get demoed if they run into you. That would be nice. Because after 3 bumps in a row, obviously that person needs to be turned off from bumping that teammate, regardless if it's accidental or on purpose. I don't know. Regardless, I'm not very motivated to play right now. Apparently, the only thing that's on this type of day is just straight, solid-ass fucking trash. You can't even get any type of ball control or any type of anything playing at this time, apparently. Every time I've had the ball, I've had a teammate drive directly at me and then be like, oh, let me touch it, let me touch it. You're trying to make a play. Oh, it's in the air, it's my turn now. It's like, yeah, if you want the ball, how about you go in front of me to where I can pass it to you? Go out for a passing position. Don't fucking force me to fucking pass the ball to you. I'll do it whenever I deem it necessary. He's beat. Nope, he fucking missed. And that was basically an open net that he swept past and tried to bump the guy when the ball wasn't even on target. I love how the whole time I'm taking to the opposite corner, he just sits there. Literally, legitimately just sat there. Didn't try to meet me in the corner, didn't try to update his position to help score the goal or anything. He just sat there like, yep. I'm a dumb. I'm a dumb. I'm a dumb. Ball lands behind him, then he's like, oh man, maybe I should do something. It was a terrible kickoff, and it was obvious that he had to flip over to actually touch that ball. So the other guy could have outread him and got a free shot on our goal. But he didn't think about it. Good save. As if I'd let you do that. You must be on crack. That was a very nice shot, by the way. Most people would have hit that shit over. But he got that shit perfect off crossbar. That is the highest he could hit that. Took too long. Nope. What a fucking waste. Thank you. Can we get out of here now? Bang. If you don't have boost and you can't follow it properly, just get under it and then follow it that way. Bang. That's all you gotta do. It is all you gotta do. Cool. Next game. See, it's not a giving up because they scored a 1-goal thing. It's, my teammate's a dumbass and thinks going for a flip reset, a mechanic that he's not even consistent at. Passing the ball to the other team that was literally in front of him when he had all the space in the world to just fake that down and control the ball and do something else with it. And still pushing it out over to them. Makes me say, nah, it ain't worth it. If I know I'm going to lose a match, I'm not going to go and play through that shit like that. Especially in the beginning. Accidents happen. Mistakes happen, things like that. But that's something that's avoidable, and that comes from a lack of experience. And I'm not about that tonight. So no, I could give a care less if we have 4 or 5 goals scored on. You're trying to use dumb mechanics that you shouldn't be using in positions where you don't understand. I'm kind of I'm good. He wants to be goofy, mess around, and casual. That's fine. But that's not what I'm here for, so... difference of opinions, I suppose. I could have scored that. He lined that up perfectly for me. Take the shot. You should be going for that. You're the up, man. That's fine. Don't know why you're up. You just passed the ball back to... They didn't go for it. Okay. And now they're double committing for a simple save. And they got the goal off of it. Nice. Don't know why he even jumped glad there instead of just going back door to goal. I hate that I can't turn, and it's driving me insane. This handicap of not being able to turn properly is killing me. Like, I can't turn to get around that with my controller set up as is. I don't know. Might go back to super loose. And that don't feel right. I mean, long story short, I need a new controller. But the way things are set up, I have a lot of shit invested for a huge amount of returns. So I'm not going to cash in like $100 worth of stock when that $100 is going to turn into, you know, 10,000s plus amount of dollars, or at least has the potential to. Nothing's set in stone, but it's looking that way, you know. So why would I cash in like $100 worth of shit to get a shitty ass controller that I don't necessarily need when I can increase that money? So I used to be one of those people that used to let my money sit in my bank account and do absolutely fuck all nothing. All of the extra money and shit meant nothing because it was never getting any dividends, no gains, no nothing. Didn't even put the shit into a savings account, just had it all sitting in a checking account. Fucking useless and dumb. You should always be building your money, whether it's investing in something or 401k or something to keep increasing your money. Instead of just letting it sit there. So you, person out there that has like 10 to 30 grand sitting on a card that's not making any type of returns, gains, or anything, maybe not do that. At the bare minimum, get a savings account and get like that 1% additive of money every, little bit of time. As opposed to just letting it sit. That's it. The fucking bump. He talked all that shit and still lost. I couldn't fucking turn to pick that up. I hate that. Surprised he didn't go for a demo, because they seemed like the type of guy who was talking a lot of smack. Oh, and then he leaves. Fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it. Talk shit, get clapped. When you're insulting me, you're not just insulting me, you're insulting anybody on my team that was near that. So it's essentially you're assaulting my entire team, saying what a save and saying rude shit like that. I could care less about the experience. This one's the newest one. I'll open up one just to see. Dog shit. Don't think I've ever opened up a golden moon, so I'll open one of those. It's the same fucking thing, except for it's missing the egg design on the side. What kind of fucking reused asset bullshit are you talking about? I'll use 2 of these. Okay, those were like the basic of basic wheels. Pearlescent, I already have pearlescent. I even have the better fucking metallic pearl or whatever the fuck it's called. Also, go back to Octane. We'll go uncommon. Not gonna lie, there's 2 things that I would really love to have. A button that just says "are open" all of these crates as I get them, and a button to automatically re-roll or open multiple at a time. I could care less about this doom, 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 doom every time. There should be a button here that says open, open 1, or open 5, or open 10, or open all. You know what I'm saying? Instead of this one at a time bullshit. So annoying. Every other game has this shit that allows you to open multiple at a time. Why is this game still stuck in the past? It's fun. Dun, 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 dun. It's actually worse on the Octane. When I mean, the Octane does have a wider turn radius. How did he get a demo when he wasn't going supersonic? Excuse me? Literally just came off of a turn. Murmur. Oh, what the fuck? That delayed flip, though. I was trying to immediately flip when I got that, but for whatever reason, weird shit happened. I got boost. Oh, teammates like way the fuck back. Okay, I see. Burn, 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 burn. Bully. Bully. I own gold debt. Okay, I don't know what the fuck happened there, but sure. Made him leave. He could say close one and talk down to me, but I say fucking he gets scored on or anything, and then he's just automatically out, huh? Funny how the Rocket League community likes to talk shit when they're fucking winning, but, you know, when they're not winning, it's no longer fun. I don't know why this guy didn't follow me instead of cover my actual shot. That's the type of dumb shit I don't understand. You're gonna sit behind me when I'm air dribbling instead of cover the shot or the touch off the wall that's going to happen next. You know what's going to happen at the end of that. Like, why? And they're stuck in a rule 1, and he's not capitalizing on it. Thank you, sir. Oh, what the fuck? It ate my jump. I was gonna hit it off with him and score that shit, but nope. Couldn't fucking jump. So right there, when he hit the ball over my teammate's head, he should not have went back and challenged that. He should have went towards the left, towards that wall, and waited on my clear to him so we could make a breakaway play. He should not have turned back towards goal. That's not the play. He should have just trusted me to save that shit. It's one of the reasons why I let that go in, so I could explain the situation. Is it kind of a scumbag thing of me to do to let a shot go in that I could save? Yeah, kind of. But on the other end, I wanted to go over that situation that you see all the time. If it goes over your head and all of that, and you're the back man, yeah, go for it. But he definitely wasn't the back man, and he knew he wasn't the back man. Because he had just seen me mere seconds before. When it went over his head, he should have went anywhere out in the field where I could pass it to him. Again, so we could make that breakaway play and continue a fast and speedy game. Him turning back towards goal, even if I would have saved that, it would have just been hit back out into the field, and his teammate would have just grabbed it and sent it back in. With both of us being in the goal at that point, and me sending it out towards them, they would have a huge, huge chance to counter both of us, because none of us can challenge them early. And if they took that time to actually do that, it'd be pretty disgusting. Guess I'm putting it up, huh? Well, that happened. When you expect the shot to just be in because it was an open shot and they don't put it in. That shit too. If somebody takes your boost and heads out towards field, let them go for the ball. They have the boost. You don't. You don't need to go out and challenge that shit. They grab the boost, especially in a situation like that. You bet your sweet bippy they're grabbing boost to turn around and challenge. This guy giving up his position over there to go back and get boost is dumb as fuck. Then he cut me out when I had an open, full fucking field worth of fucking space to play. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about that just drives me up the fucking wall. And this is why I just can't get motivated to play this goddamn game, because the decision making is fucking dumb. Shit that makes sense to me don't make sense to your average fucking mediocre plebe. Ooh, that was a good no flip. I don't know. This is why it's way past time for me to retire this game. I don't know. If all my investments turn out well, I'm definitely going to go back to college. And finish off all my degrees and shit that I have. Because, well, I'm tired of it. And I refuse to go back in debt from student loans and shit like that. Because if you decide, or I didn't say decide, if situation deems that you're not going to do that job in your life, and you accrue 30,000 to 100,000 to 200,000 worth of student loans, you're just basically dead in the water. I just postured the hell out of this boy. That's all I did, was just posture him there, and he fucking folded like a goddamn chair. Holy shit. Okay, leaving their goal open. Like, this ain't fun to me anymore. It's not. I don't have the motivation to go back and climb up the ranks. If they hadn't did a hard reset, I'd still be up there. At least playing harder than this shit, but because they did hard resets on everything, I'll never have a high casual MMR again. I refuse, because every time I get it high, they hard reset it. Ranked ain't fun, because it's just scripted play. Casual MMR just takes too long to grind up. That was a nice little fucking pass there. I wish teammate would have got the fuck out of the way, though, or at least pushed into that. One or the other. If he would have pushed into it and flipped or anything, or if he'd have just kind of shimmied himself out of the way a little bit, or anything to assist this clear. Okay, no point. You fucking god damn it. Oh my god, this is supposed to be an easy match and teammates fucking throwing. Still throwing. They are still throwing. Oh, I didn't get the touch I wanted. Does it matter, question mark? Alrighty then. Talk about panicking. Anybody that don't know how to deal with people that go for the right kickoff, I just showed you a basic rotation for that. Apparently I'm invisible. Literally right there to score that shit. He missed the fucking ball and hit me. Good lord. That's a waste. And that's a goal. Where was our goalie? Probably going for boost. That's exactly what he was doing, going for boost. But instead of resetting himself at goal, he decided to push and double commit with teammate, and both missed. This should be a very easy match to win, and it's fucking... just... yeah. It's that. Just, yeah. Terrible pass, but we go off of that. Reason I say it's terrible pass, they were all on the right side there, and he passed it back to the right side, which they were all at. Not smart. Yeah, your teammate might be there, but if your teammate's in a bad passing position, I don't recommend you pass that to them. That's interesting. Right? Got him, good enough. You tried. I respect it. Oh, he passed it back to me and I didn't see it. Okay. We maintained ball control by passing backwards. And we pulled two of them out. But he got a nice clean banger. Get out of here. He can't score that, can he? No. He gets those. Most people would bang that off against the wall. Okay. Hello there, sir. We're double committing corners, apparently. I'm not going for that. Should be a goal. Yeah. Leaving goal open. This fucking rank is the most fucking just dumbest when it comes to leaving goal open and doing actions that are going to result in leaving goal open. Pop that over him. I got plenty of room. Okay, you don't shoot those. I wish you hadn't. I was gonna bounce it off the wall back in front of you, but I guess this works too because they're not challenging it. Oh, they triple committed that fucking corner. I wasn't expecting that. And he fucked it up. He'll pop it. And now. Oh, I didn't have boost. Save that. I didn't have boost. I didn't have boost. I timed it perfectly, but I didn't have any boost. Nope. It's too slow. It still goes in though. That should not have scored because he was too fucking slow and too hesitant on his touches there. That should not have went in. Oh my god. One guy went for it and the other guy faked because the other guy went for it. But instead of stopping at goal when the other guy faked it, he decided to keep going forward and ended up dropping that goal. I wasn't confident in going for that shot without boost. I probably could have gotten it off wall without boost, but I'm like, if I fuck that up, it's gonna be a lot worse. Okay. Double commit. He hit it out, which was a fuck up. He went for it, and the goalie went for it. If the goalie would have just chilled, he could have picked that up. Again, the pre-jumps and shit like that just straight up ruined people in this game. And that easy match was turned complicated. We're at 52 minutes. There's enough time to play like one more match. And then I can get off of this accursed game. I don't know. It's gonna start getting a lot warmer outside, so I may go back to work. Like actual work at this bullshit that I've been doing on the side. Because quite frankly, I need money to do what I want to do in life now. And a lot of money. The only way you can get a lot of money is working every single day. Not just occasionally on the weekends and sometimes during the weekday. It's not enough money. That's me being lazy, by the way. I could have saved that. We fake this. One over you. And right on in there. Terrible clear from him. Gave my guy that shot, and the other guy jumped for whatever reason instead of going back and just defending the simple shot. He had plenty of time to go back instead of jumping to the side and doing whatever the hell he did there. You're done. I do respect that you jumped and tried something as opposed to just sitting there and getting scored on, though. That's unfortunate. Instinctual recovery skills actually fucked me up there. No! Yeah, I couldn't get there. That's open. Damn. So he had to hit that corner in order to score that. Which means he would have had to read what I did. But he got close. I respect it. He just wasted all of that his teammate just did for him. I'll pass it over there. Maybe he'll turn on it. He does. Thank you. I'm trying to keep them downfield on our side is what I'm trying to do. Bang. The longer I keep them downfield, it gives us longer time to make a playoff of it. Instead of that guy, you know, leaving, and he turned and he re-challenged even though he didn't have a teammate readily available to score. The teammate that was supposed to be readily available to score had to speed his ass off to get there and try to make that shot, making both of them basically double commit something that never was going to happen. From there, they only had one guy back and he was collecting boost pads in a very interesting space instead of just the ones in front of goal and being prepared. Now, tactics like that, I don't expect the general, you know, community to learn. I mean, that's, you know, like almost guerrilla warfare style tactics. Things like that. You pull them in and then you punish them. Or you go to them, punish them, and then you leave. I don't expect the general population to know guerrilla warfare. But I do expect them to have, well, general knowledge. Damn. Damn, that's unfortunate. One guy keeps being, you know, almost on target, and their other guy ruins it for him by just going for random shots. One, you can tell that he's not pushing into his shots. That's why his fucking accuracy is absolute doo-doo. Oh, he missed. So if he'd push into his shots, he wouldn't have that much of a variance on his missed touches. Two, his positioning's bad because of where, you know, everything's going. So he's either pre-jumping or he's not positioned properly, which is probably leading to the pre-jumps, to be fair. Fake. They double committed. That's an easy save. You should have went and grabbed boost, because I was literally there. You're not helping by passing it again. Cover teammate. Oh, he could have made a play. So close. Terrible pass, by the way. No. No, I don't think I've played a good game in like 6 months on this game. Well, no, I've played like 2 or 3. Oh, fuck, I got 2 minutes left. I don't have any closing statements, so I guess we're playing another game, huh? But yes, I would like to attend, not like in fucking, you know, an actual like out-of-state college, but I would like to attend an online course college. Most of the jobs that I would like to do, unfortunately, I cannot do anymore. And the other part of the jobs that I would like to do, I'm not in shape, at least not that great a shape to do those jobs. Plus, I can't stay on my feet for that goddamn long anymore. But anyway, I'm limited in the amount of jobs I can do is what I'm essentially saying. So, trying to create a career, a path, is a lot more difficult when you have limited options. I should have just scored that, honestly. That's me being lazy. That was an open net. I got it past him, but teammate's coming all the way back to our side when he should have turned a long time ago. Pick up some pads and keep the offensive. Don't just give them full field. Wow. You see that open net back there? Gone. Is it my punishment for not scoring that goal earlier? That's fine. We faked that just for that. He's going way too slow with 3 people in front of him. You're in the way. You're like heavily in the way. You're not faking to give me ball control. You're blocking me from challenging. Ah, my car. It's pulling. It's pulling on its own. It is pulling on its own. It worked out. But that's scary. What the fuck you gonna be there, teammate, if you're not gonna actually go for shit? Talk about fucking useless, bro. Why would you go up the wall for that? Why in the actual fuck did you go up the wall for that? Look at this shit. Why? Everybody's back downfield and all of that. Yeah, they are going through it. Holy shit. Whole team, our other team, is down the fucking field and shit. Oh, he's talking about NRG. But their whole fucking team was down the field. And my dude goes up the wall and tries to get a far clear. Like, let that shit bounce and then carry it and use the half of the field. Damn. And use the half of the field you have. People are talking about morale and a whole bunch of other shit on a fucking esports game like Rocket League. Ooh-wee. I mean, I guess come the fuck on, man. I guess Rocket League players are kind of beta and have a huge amount of feelings that get hurt. I just hate idiots. It is that fucking simple. If you are deemed an idiot in my brain, I dislike you just based off that premise. The game's just kind of the facade of that. Nope. He's about to get shit on. Yep. Don't even know why you challenged that. At least he didn't full challenge it. That'll bounce off wall. Holy shit, I just got destroyed. It's an open net if he goes for it. Too damn slow. Again, like that shit, he was already on his way to get boost instead of finishing his play. Double committing in their corners, like dumb shit like that. That'll probably have left to or been a loss of goal if I hadn't come back. Or done anything to cover that shit. They also fucked up on the other team. I don't watch RLCS or any of that other bullshit. I let my Twitch account sit in their shit to get like the rewards and shit occasionally, but I don't watch that shit. I could care less what's going on in Rocket League world. If he hadn't wasted his flip and just booped that down, they would have had that goal, by the way. That's what I mean by ceiling shots being consistent versus inconsistency. The only thing he needed to do is have a consistency enough to just touch that shit to like the side off the wall. He could have scored it himself. That's in. Oh, no. Or anything else. Just not use that flip. Just air dribbled. Instead, he jumped off and immediately flipped because he wasn't confident and didn't know what to do with an actual ceiling touch. And that cost him a goal. I slowed that guy down. He's going to score that. Never mind. We're good. You took my fucking boost. You better be up here fucking going for that shit. Fucking just dumbasses. That's the shit that pisses me off. I have the ball. Cleared it, saved it, did all that shit. Going to the corner to pick up boost, and you're grabbing the fucking boost off of me. I'm done. Thank God this hour's over. This goddamn game. Ah. Is it bad that I'm looking forward to a day to where I'm just so fucking busy that I don't have any time to actually play this shitty ass game? I can't fucking wait. I need to get away from this game. I need to get away from games in general, honestly. I'm not interested in them, yet I still play them because, well, bore them. I don't know. But I mean, I know because of COVID and things like that, but still, COVID's kind of disappearing, or at least they're pretty much reopening everything, and everybody's around to be around, and everything's essentially slowly going back to normal. Now, COVID isn't that much of a thing. War started right after that. Coincidence? Who knows? But anyway, there's always going to be something going on in the world. And it's going to be drawn out. And a lot of people are going to fucking die because of it, senselessly. Because if something ain't going on in the world for people to think about, then they start thinking about their own fucking countries. And when people start thinking about their own countries, they see the injustices and things like that and the bullshit regulations and all of that, which leads to uprising. So as long as you can keep the general population, and remember, the average human is mediocre. They bandwagon shit. They don't have really a independent thought process. They are led to believe that they have independence and every decision they make is their own. But they have no idea that not. They're not making their own decisions. Because you live in a factory area, most mediocre people are going to go to school, learn to be in a factory and all of that, learn to follow instructions, etc., etc. And then right afterwards, they're going to go straight into the factory. Some who are a little bit above mediocre, maybe they'll go to college or something like that to get, experience and all of that and get higher pay and whatnot. But they end up in a factory anyway. It's only the ones that are above average intelligence that understand, what they're going to college for, their career plans, Basically, they get the notion that they ain't gonna work in a fucking factory and destroy their body. Is the gist of it. They're literally too smart for physical labor. Or as Windworld says, dumb labor. They're too smart for it. And if they're going to do any type of physical labor, they're not going to get paid, shit for it. And they're not going to work 12, plus hours a day. If they're going to make double the money from those 12-hour-a-day people, or essentially the same amount of money once overtime and all of that happens like that, and they're going to work 5 to 8 hour days, and they're going to have weekends off and shit because they were smart enough to use their brain and their brawn together to get higher pay. Because even a smart person walking into a factory setting, for example, if you have the negotiation ability and things like that and you aren't mediocre, you can negotiate yourself higher pay and more benefits and shit like that. Because your brain, or because you use your brain, unlike the most mediocre people that are literally just walk in the factory, they say, I need job. At the interview, they spend their time at the interview and trying to impress the interviewer and making themselves seem like they're the shit. but they never negotiate pay. The interview goes both ways, and a lot of people don't realize that when you are being interviewed by somebody, that is your negotiation phase. They're supposed to be showing their company to you and trying to recruit you to work for them. And they're supposed to be negotiating a pay that's fair versus your particular skills. So they're trying to recruit you. So they're reaching out a hand to you and they're showing an interest in you and your skills. You are trying to join their organization. So, and when you join their organization, you're not trying to join at an entry level position with entry level pay. So you were trying to sell to them that, hey, I know you guys are interested in me, but however, I am better than your average employee. I am the shit. And because I am the shit, I want to be paid $2 more an hour starting. What makes me the shit is I have all of this experience, college education, I've worked in factories all my life, etc., 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 etc. And you'll probably be getting paid more than $2 an hour. It's just an example. And you go in and you give all of these qualifications and everything and all of these job skills that are relevant to the positions that are available for the company you're going into. And then you sell yourself. Well, that sounds bad. And then you negotiate a contract with that employer. So if you say, I'm smarter, I'm better, I'm faster, I'm stronger, that won't kill me, it'll only make me stronger, etc., etc. But you say, in exchange for my hard work and my expertise, I want 2 weeks more vacation. Instead of a pay raise, maybe time, is more worth your suit. I want an extra 14 days of vacation. That's essentially an extra day off each month, and then 1 month you can take 2 extra days off, and that's on top of everything else you have. Or you say you're a hard worker and all of that, and you never take days off or anything like that, so you request a bonus at the end of the year of just X amount of money. Or you request a pay raise if you want it, throughout the year. Most companies are more apt to give you pay raises if you're asking for a small pay raise. Most companies are apt to give you a bonus if they offer bonuses. Because at the end of the year, they'll have their profit margins and all of that, and they'll have their information on how much they can actually offer you, etc., etc. So depending on how you want your money and how much money you want, it might be best to be hired on as like a salary worker, for example, instead of a regular hourly worker. Or if it's something that involves moving a lot of product at one point in time, you might want to go commission and get paid per product move and figure out the math and do it that way. There are a lot of ways at which you can negotiate your pay and all have different outcomes. But at the end of the day, if you're not negotiating your pay, you're never going to get anywhere. For example, Amazon pays like what, $15 an hour and like 18 to 20 an hour if you're a pick or one of the harder jobs or anything like that. It's like a $5 pay difference in between the harder jobs versus the easier jobs. That's in the factory, not outside. Outside, the pay goes up drastically. You're hired in as, let's say you're just a reduced time worker. Instead of working 12 to 16 hours, you have 8-hour days. Peak season comes and they say, well, we're going to raise your pay and we want you to start coming in 10 to 12 hours. Your contract says reduced time and specifically says that it's 8 hours a day and all of that. You don't have to conform to their terms unless your contract doesn't say so. That's not part of your job. You're hired in for 8 hours. They can't just magically increase your workload like that unless it's in your contract. So when negotiating your contract and they bring up peak time or something like that, or if you're aware of peak time, you can say during peak time, instead of getting paid $15 an hour, I want to be paid, $18 an hour, or even $20 an hour if you're ballsy enough and you want to shoot high and get negotiated back low. You always want to shoot reasonably high, but you want to go higher than what reason is and try to negotiate down. Unless you know the limits of your negotiation, then obviously you know what you're supposed to be shooting for. Now, obviously, when it comes to negotiation, if they pay you higher, they're going to expect you to show up and be on top of, your workload and all of that. But the thing about it is, as the requirements of your job go up, so will your pay. Again, if they don't want to bend to paying you $20 an hour and they say you're going to get 16, you can say, that's fine, just give me a bonus at the end of peak season of this amount. You'd be surprised how many dumbass people that are the HR teams that won't do the math. And if you give them the $20 an hour thing and just a wholesome, amount, and then generally show information supporting it, they'll give you that shit. You say, I want $20 an hour. Let's say you work 10 hours a day. We'll keep it simple. 10 hours a day, you want 20 an hour. That's $200. Let's say peak season's 5 days to make it $1,000. $1,000 is what, is going to come on to the end of that. If they say, no, we're not going to pay you $20 an hour, are you insane? Even our picks, that's how much they're making and they work twice as hard as you. If you say, okay, well, instead of doing $20 an hour, how's about you just give me a bonus of $1,000 at the end? Shit lasts 7 days, that's enough, That seems reasonable since peak season's hard. I'm used to only working 8 hours a day. You want me to do 10, if not 12? Well, you wouldn't say 1,000. You wouldn't give it. You would say like $800. Because I mean, moving up from 8 hours to 12 hours, you're gonna have that increase in money that comes from, working the extra 4 hours for the 7. That's 28 hours already thrown into that. And you would take the math and all of that to essentially balance that shit out. Be like, okay, well, maybe instead of that, you give me an $800 bonus at the end of peak season. And you do that every peak season. Then the extra money that you get from working the extra time leads up to that $200, and then you get $800 on top of that, leading to your $1,000 that you asked for in the raise anyway. You compromise, and you're only getting about 80% of what you asked for. So instead of getting 20, you're probably getting like 18, but 18's bigger than, 16, you know what I'm saying? So you made them settle for something higher, but you just gave them a cash amount and asked for a bonus at the end instead of trying to negotiate pay. So a lot of people know hourly what they, should be expecting and things like that. I'm working this job, I should be getting paid $18 an hour. I won't accept anything less. But a lot of people don't do the math to find out what it would be salary or something like that. You're getting paid $10 an hour and you work 100 hours a year. That's $1,000. somebody wants a raise or some other type of bullshit up to $15 an hour, which is 1,500, a year, and they just like it because it's $5 an hour more. You can literally say, how about instead of that, we just give you a salary of $1,200 a year. And most people will be like, okay. And you've just essentially cut them down to $12 an hour instead of the 15 that they asked for. They're still $3 short of wherever they're trying to go and their salary. So, I mean, there comes the implications with that, but you also have them by the balls too, because if they don't show up, you can always drop them back to hourly, and take away any type of bonus incentive pay that comes from that. So, I mean, it goes both ways. Anybody that's smart enough to negotiate pay the correct way, and you find the negotiation talks, loopholes, and the methodologies to actually get the pay that you're looking for, then there you go. And because they settled for $12 an hour, that gives the HR team and all of that the ability to use those extra $3 as sort of a pay incentive increase. If that person is actually doing a good job like they said they were going to, you can give them a $100, raise or bonus at the end of the year, which is basically a dollar an hour pay raise because they put forth the effort. You can pay them later on in bonuses, as opposed to them being pieces of shit and requesting higher pay. You can literally just leave it as is and keep them at $2 over. And then, let your HR department go in and let them know that, their performance isn't satisfactory. When we signed this contract, we said that you had to keep up with this much work, and you have not kept up with this much work or showed up this many days. So you violated the contract. Thus, your bonus, salary, or hourly pay is going to be reduced. So everybody's on board right in the business's ass trying to get a raise. But when it comes to pay deductions, everybody's like, nah, I'll quit my job if you reduce my pay. It's like, if you're not doing what you said you're going to do, of course you're going to get your pay reduced. What most people don't realize is there's 4.7 plus billion people in the fucking world. You can be replaced. Keeping you with your higher pay might be more expensive than just paying $18,000 and retraining another person. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the long run, if that new person trained ends up being great, you know, it's a lot better than paying you this huge $20+ an hour to not really do shit and not really perform how you're supposed to perform. So it matters not who you are. You can be gotten rid of. Just like that. Poof. Gone. It's why negotiations and having them in phases is what's important. You don't just want to walk in out of the blue and say, hey, I want a pay raise. You want to get a meeting and everything situated to where you can sit down with. And most people go to their bosses or their managers or some shit and they say, I want a pay raise, and they try to pressure them. HR is generally in charge of that. You're going to want your boss to be present as a witness to say whether or not you're doing good or not. But you also want, HR to be scheduled for this meeting. Somebody who's in charge of the finances and all of that to talk about your pay raise and all of that too. At the end of the day, HR is essentially on the same level as the highest level in your fucking management. Because HR and management have to work together in order to make this work. If management doesn't work with HR, you get a shitty ass management and shitty ass HR department that don't know what the fuck's going on. And I guarantee you, many of you have worked at places like that, where the HR just does whatever they want to do and it doesn't make sense to any of the workers. They're like, why is HR doing this? It's because their management isn't communicating with them. They're not sitting down and having talks and talking about what can or needs to be reproved, increased, or reduced, or anything like that. The HR is a completely separate entity from the building, and that's bad. And then the management never confront or talks to HR about things that are going on. So HR just assumes they're handling their own business and never comes in and checks or does anything like that, which ends up with disassociated management and HR, and then the workers are suffering for it. Because, you know, all of these broke ass fucking instruments and tools and all kinds of other safety things and everything else that's happening that could just be fixed and for a very cheap price aren't. And the workers are on, you know, these ate up fucking mats, basically standing on concrete, terrible work conditions, haven't really gotten any type of pay raises or any type of time to negotiate or anything. And they're just worked to the bone until people start quitting and you get a high turnover rate. An HR department is one of the most important things that you can have as a business owner. If you're trying to be your own HR department and trying to be an owner of the business and do everything yourself, you're either a small business or you're a fucking moron. Your business is going to fail. And when your business fails, most owners that are like that are just going to take as much profits as they can soak up. And they're going to say, fuck their workers. They're going to grab the money, they're going to fucking run, and the workers are going to be jobless looking for other jobs. Sad as it is, that's what happens. If your boss is unreliable and you're not really getting paid a large amount of money, keep in mind that your job is in jeopardy every single day, every single minute. And you're not going to have any type of future if your boss does everything. So let's say 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the road, if you stay with that company and they don't have any type of expansions or anything like that, or even if they do, let's say 20 years down the road, they finally get an HR department. That's when everything starts. So you have 20 years of wasted money saving, 401k additives, things like that, just fucking gone already. That's a pretty significant amount of money. Just keeping in general with you. If you save up money and like a decent amount of money, a very small portion of your paycheck, let's say like 10%, just a small portion of your paycheck, from the time you start working to the time you die, you should have anywhere between $1 million to $2 million, depending on how much you save. Bare minimum should be $1 million when you retire to do whatever the fuck you want to do with. Plus you have, well, if it's going to be available for you, Social Security and a whole bunch of other bullshit. Any type of investments that you invested your money in, etc., etc. You'll have up to $1 million. And even if you're lazy and start investing later on in your life, you'll still have $500,000. If you wait till the end, you'll have like $200,000. Still more than zero. So, I mean, if your boss doesn't have a proper HR department, doesn't have proper shit set up to take care of you, why are you taking care of him? Because one day, if he wakes up and he's like, oh, I'm fucking tired of this goddamn business, and let's say he just sells that shit to somebody, or he decides, you know, I've reached my goal of $1 trillion or $1 billion or something, or I've made enough money to live the rest of my life the way I want to. And he just closes the business, cancels all the contract, closes the business, sells the business, does something, and just sacks everybody. Or if he gets greedy and wants to build a mansion or something and profit, margins is like, I gotta fire like 50 people to build this mansion. We got 50 people that aren't really making a lot of money and all of that. We have spots to where, they're just kind of tagging along with people. We can get rid of them. Boop, cut. And you're one of those 50 people. It's the same as with renting houses. If you're not renting to own, which is just essentially buying, well, I mean, actually, no, they can still do it to you. If you're renting a house, period, the owner has the ability to sell that house at any point in time. He can say, hey, get out of my house, I'm getting rid of it, or get out of my house, I'm going to live in it now. And that's what most people do, is they rent the house out until the house gets paid off, and then they move into it themselves. That's the smartest thing you can do, because you're essentially having other people pay for the fucking house. And the only thing you have to deal with is a little bit of wear and tear here or there. Once that shit's paid off, and it's your house, then you kick everybody the fuck out of the house, repair the things that need to be repaired, and then go about living in the house yourself. And you guys know mortgages can last anywhere from 10 to 50 years, depending on how fucking much you pay and how expensive your goddamn house and shit is. Or mansion, or skyscraper, or wherever the fuck you want to go into. They can go a long amount of times. Most don't go over like 20, 25 years. That's generally the max you'll find, but there are some expensive as fuck places that go a lot higher. And if your mortgage goes over 20 to 25 years, you might want to think about where you're living at. Because if you can't pay off a house in like 30 years, you got an issue and where you're trying to move into, or you've done something along the way that'll fuck shit up. 30 years? That's crazy to be paying off of a house. I would have literally sold that bitch, used the remainder of that I got from money wise to pay off the rest of it, and then use the rest to just buy a cheaper house and call it a fucking day at that point. 30 years worth of that shit? Good lord. Shit, at 30, shit, that's like, even my numbers are too high. Because even if you're living like a super expensive ass, like fucking out of the world mansion and shit, if they gave you 30 years, you would only have to pay like $10,000 a year. That's $3,000 or $300,000 right there. To pay off the majority of houses and shit like that. And I mean, if you're going to live in an expensive ass house, which I guess nowadays it's kind of average, it's not really expensive, but an average, it's above average, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like upper middle class at that point. An upper middle class house, and you're generally going to be looking to have a family, which means you're going to have a spouse that's somebody else that's going to work too. So between the two of you, you're both paying $5,000 a year into that. I mean, you're going to be looking for roommates or other things to help you split the cost at that point. Nobody by themselves should be aspiring to live in a huge house.
One, you're going to be having to hire people and shit to come clean that bitch, because there ain't no way in hell you're going to be able to clean every nook and cranny in this huge ass house. It would take you literally a week to get that shit done, to get every nook and cranny. And by the time you get done cleaning that shit, it'll be time to damn near clean that shit again. Generally, houses that are that big are accompanied with their own yards and pools and a whole bunch of other shit. If you're by yourself, you're damn straight you're gonna have to fucking hire people. You have to clean the inside of the house, the outside of the house, tend to the garden, the pool. You have to cut the yard. You know, you have to keep the shit looking nice because you're probably gonna be in a neighborhood that requires you to keep your shit looking pristine. Or if you're out in the country somewhere, that's even more of a problem because you're gonna have a fuck ton of land that you have to take care of. So you would literally spend most of the hours of your goddamn day because you ain't gonna be able to have a job and take care of a big house. You're gonna be spending most hours of your day when you're not sleeping and eating and shit, literally, cleaning your house and taking care of the goddamn house. That's crazy. But even though it's a crazy thing to do, you're gonna have dumbasses doing that shit. Moving into a gigantic house, not using half the rooms that are available. And yeah, hiring people over to cut their grass and all of that, and et cetera, et cetera. Some people don't understand what true wealth is. They're not satisfied that they're rich. They want to show that they're rich. They get satisfaction for other people acknowledging their wealth. So they go out and they buy the super flashy cars and all of that. And they get the big house and they get, you know, all the workers and shit that go in and clean everything and have everybody running in and out of their house and all kinds of other shit. They invite people over for, I don't know, tea parties or parties or whatever the fuck they do. Or maybe they start a YouTube channel or some shit and show their wealth and their house and all kinds of other bullshit. You know, they want acknowledgement that, hey, I'm living good. Something to stroke their ego. Those people are stupid. They waste a fuck ton of money on some shit that they're never gonna use. The people that generally, you know, that have been their friends for a long time will appreciate it, but other people that they make friends for are just gonna use them for what they're worth and then they're not gonna have anything. It's sad, but it happens. If you come into wealth, you're gonna have people coming out of the woodworks that you've never really even talked to or barely talked to, asking for fucking money. Dude, you got $1 billion. If I ask you for a couple of thousand, you know, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll give it to me. Worst case scenario, he'll say no. Yeah, oh, you remember me from back in middle school? You and I, you know, we used to hang out all the time. Hey man, how's things going? Type shit. You're gonna have people that claim that you owe them debts from way back in the fucking day, asking you to pay your fucking debts back. You're gonna have scam people from all over the place trying to come for your money. Most people that have a lot of money just generally just pay them off and tell them to never approach them again. You owe me $10,000. Okay, here's $10,000. Now go the fuck away. If you're a money waster, it'll come back and bite you in the ass. Because then what most people do is they think about all the things they could have had when they were growing up and weren't able to experience. But not only do they want to do that, they want to get the best of that particular thing they wanted available. You know, customized, super highly expensive, and all of that. and they want to get, some custom, specially made, like, type bullshit. Then, after getting everything you want and continuously doing that, going on vacation to places and living the life, being humans, they get bored of it. When you get bored of it, that's the deciding factor in your life. A lot of people turn to drugs at that point, and that's where all their money goes to. Right on down the drain. It is staggeringly and repulsive. Staggeringly repulsive. Sure, we'll go with that. How much money human beings can actually spend on drugs at one point in time. Nobody settles for, the weak shit. I mean, first starting off, they might get, $10,000 worth of marijuana to flex it and say, yeah, I got marijuana, I got all of this shit, I got a room full of it and all of that. Marijuana's a gateway drug. Eventually that shit's going to turn into, cocaine, pure cocaine, and, heroin and shit like that. And they're going to try to go and do some fucking psychedelics and shit like that. That shit's expensive. You can spend 100,000 fucking dollars on cocaine and not even get a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? And heroin and shit, and not even get a huge amount of it. It's crazy how expensive that shit is in large quantities. And then that shit disappears like it's nothing because it's something that they weren't necessarily, acclimated with. So they end up abusing that shit. And next thing you know, $100,000 going, once a month. At the end of the year, that's $120,000 plus the house, the land, your taxes, all the other bullshit that you fucking done, all the expensive food you cook and all of that. Next thing you know, you're losing over $1 million fucking yearly. Now having $1 billion ain't bad. Because doing that, you can still maintain spending, $2-3 million a year and be fine. Oh, you could spend $10 million a year and still be fine because you'll probably be fucking dead by the time you will go through all of your money. But you're limiting the amount of years that you can go and do things with. And the more assets that you accrue, the more money you're going to be spending on the end of it. And that's what gets people, is they buy a lot of shit and they don't think about, maintaining that shit, paying the taxes and everything else on that shit. You didn't need $1 million mansion and then a summer home and a winter home and a home over in this country and all of that shit. That shit adds up. You don't need 15 to 20 cars because you liked all these cars growing up. That shit adds up. Then you end up can't afford and shit, and you get desperate towards the end, and you start selling shit. Way cheaper than what you bought it for, just to get through. Then you start downsizing shit. Now, there are some smart people that make their own businesses or invest in the stocks or other businesses and make dividends. But more importantly, start their own business and take about half of that, 500 million, and create this just super fucking gigantic fucking business that encompasses an entire area and puts out, the shit, and then makes that money back very quickly. But there's a lot of dumbasses that don't. They don't put their money towards anything. They just waste that shit. Like, for instance, you can start your own cryptocurrency at that point and have a stable cryptocurrency that's based off of something that that you'll always have. Like, you can make a cryptocurrency based off your money. And you can literally sell that crypto out to different people and have them essentially, because I mean, you have to, the thing about having a lot of money is you have to spend money or you'll lose money. That's one of the curses of having a lot of money. If you have $1 billion, you're going to have to spend quite a bit of that money. You're forced to per year, or the government and other sources will take that shit from you. Financial institutions, the government, all kinds of other shit. And that's what people aren't aware of. If you just let your money sit in an account and just let it sit there, even if you separate all your accounts into different bank accounts, each one of those bank accounts that you're not using funds are going to slowly start taking money from that account from inactivity. Inactivity fees, the government's going to take money from you, and they're just going to keep raking in your money. Your money will never be 100% protected to where you can just leave it in your account and say you wanted to live your average life and just keep the $1 billion in an account somewhere and hide the card or some shit for an emergency. Next time you check your card, your money's going to be decreased. And each year that you check that shit of not using it, it's going to decrease significantly more and more and more and more. Because they will keep continuing to take your money whether you want them to or not. So you can't let your money sit. You have to be always using that money. So opening up a business to throw out money and waste money, but also get money back in return is a good investment. So you're not constantly losing money or gaining money. And there's a lot of things you can do. Like I said, starting a cryptocurrency. You can take a significant amount of your money and then start a cryptocurrency based off of that particular money. Take that money, put it in a pot into a specific account, and have the cryptocurrency be based off of that particular pot. And people can pull from that because they know that source is always going to be there. And they can trade you actual, you give them these digital coins that they can use anywhere. And they have whatever vault or whatever the fuck your particular money stash is as a fallback on it. And as people buy coins from you, they're literally giving you their money in exchange for these digital tokens that they can use. And the money goes back and forth and everything else until the person sells it, which then the money comes out of your account and goes back into whoever the fuck, initially paid for it. And that pot will increase and increase and increase over time. The more your coin is wanted, the more the price of that shit will go up. So they'll be paying $1 for example, or not $1. They'll be paying $1 and let's say $1.10 for $1 worth of this cryptocurrency, and you'll be making 10 cents off of every single cryptocurrency, or you can just charge 10 cents per transaction of X amount of money and make money that way. And as the pot keeps increasing, the value of the particular money is going to increase. Because that 10 cents that's being added in every time, there's still only, let's say, 100 million coins out of there. But the pot keeps increasing. So those 100 million coins are going to go up from being, $1 to $1 and like 1,000 cents. Then eventually, $1 and like 10 cents. And if it's super popular, it could all go all the way straight up to $2 if you have that many people, going into that shit. Then buying one coin will be, $2. And again, it's just going to be more and more and more and more money until, if it gets accepted, let's say worldwide, and it gets accepted everywhere as the new digital currency, which would be crazy. The value of it would shoot through the fucking roof, and everybody would be using that as a unitary source of money. You won't have to worry about or converting over to different money sources and all of that. When you go out of your country and all of that, as long as you're using this particular cryptocurrency and you put money into it, you can buy whatever the fuck you want anywhere. And there won't be any talks about, what does this convert to in this country? Like, no. You'll have this, the price of this is 5 Unitarian coins. Boom. There won't be any miscommunications. There won't be any talks of scamming. There won't be any talks of, this or that or another. It'll all just be one economy. Worldwide. Unitarian coin. Obviously, we're talking about fiction at this point. I mean, there is a very, 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 very small possibility that it can happen, but it's essentially fiction at this point. But you know what I'm saying? The more that pot increases, the more money it's worth, and the more money it's worth, that means the higher interest that people, have in it, etc., etc. You can also inflate the cost yourself. Instead of having $100 million at one token apiece, you can have 1 million tokens and use 100 million as the source of each token and keep it for the elites or the richer people, things like that, and use those tokens along the elite. Start your own like casino or chain. You can have a chain, hot spring, casino, just a chain of luxury places that you only accept that particular coin at. So the people that are rich and all of that, or the schmucks that, save up and get that particular coin, or win a contest or some shit, can go to a luxury resort and spend, a week, a day, a month, however long that particular, coin is worth. And can just go and enjoy all the time they fucking want. And whatever's left over of that coin from all their expenditures and stays and all of that, they get to leave with. So they go in with a full coin, they use, half of their coin's value, they leave with half a coin, and they go about their day. You can also do it that way and monetize that shit instead of trying to take, worldwide monetization. And that's the thing about crypto is it's very iffy and there's no laws that define the base of it. The stock market specifically stops you from getting rich because of the laws and things they have in effect. Let's say you buy a million of a stock for 1,000th of a cent. If that stock goes up to $1, well, before that stock goes up to $1, when you meet a specific threshold, it's going to force you to sell your stocks back to that company, and you'll have to rebuy them and then resell that shit again and keep doing that circle as the stock goes up. You can't just hold on to a stock, let it go from 1,000th of a cent up to 1 cent, then resell and get a huge amount of value out of it. It's not going to happen. They're going to say, no, you bought a million at 0.001. They're going to force you to throw in at, say, I don't know, like 10 times the value probably. And then they're going to say, have a nice day. They're not going to let you get full value out of that. Unless some shit like GameStop happens and that shit shoots from fucking basically instantaneously, or Shiba Inu that almost instantaneously shifted from a bottom all the way up to the fucking, top and became fucking a significant, battering. Well, that's crypto. GameStop. That when it came to GameStop, anybody that was smart enough and sold as soon as GameStop hit that, like 2000 or whatever the fuck the market was at, got full value out of their stock because the government couldn't regulate it in time. Soon as the government noticed, they put a block on it and stopped people from selling their GameStop stock until it settled back down. Once it settled back down and went back down in value, then they opened up trades for it again. And you were able to get, whatever. It was still a significant increase, but, people would have literally have been, some people, I mean, got like $10,000, some people 100,000, some people probably got millions out of that shit. I would have had 2,000 GameStop in stock, GameStop stock. Holy shit. If when I left Optum, they didn't sell or force sell my goddamn stocks. Because I put 2000 or about $2,000 worth of GameStop stock back when I was in college, way back in 2011. Well, 2012, I think is when I bought it. 10 years, well, it wasn't even 10 years later. It was like 8 years later. The GameStop stock went way, way, way up in price. If I wasn't forced to sell that shit, I would have had a lot of money there. Gas. I bought $100,000 worth of stock at a thousandth of a cent, and that stock is now $5. As soon as that fucking stock went up to I think it was a tenth of a cent, they forced my stock to sell. And I ended up losing a significant amount of money off of that. Just think about that. That's three spaces, 3 decimal points worth of shit that I bought that was worth it. So I would have made $100,000 off of, well, it'd be $500,000 because it's up to like, what, $5 a gallon or some shit at one point in time. I'd have made $500,000 if they would have just fucked off and left that stock alone. Why did they force me to sell it? Because, well, they don't want the fucking company to go bankrupt. It's to protect them. Because there were a lot of people that bought into gas stocks when the economy blew. Everybody knows you need gas to survive in today's economy because most things run off of gas. So when the gas went down, everybody said, fuck it, I'm buying this shit. That was kind of the obvious, hey, this is going to go up and go big. So when a lot of people, and I mean, the stock had like billions and billions of stock at the time when it was low, everybody was buying that shit. If that shit flipped over and that company had to pay out, buy essentially their company back for that much fucking money and everybody would have gotten the dividends, they would have went fucking bankrupt. So they forced everybody to sell at a particular level so that the company can still, remain afloat. Which I bet you they feel bad now because that company's just fucking eating money right now. And they're not paying a goddamn thing back. So the government kind of fucked us in that turn. But I mean, I've had a lot of companies that I properly invested in. The thing about it is, the more money you invest, the more money you can make back. If I invest $1, but it gives me 1 million stock in something, and that goes up to $1, I'm not gonna get the $1 million. I'd be lucky if I even got $1,000 back out of that because of the limits of the governments on stocks. 1,000 ain't bad, but if you would have let it go, I would have been a millionaire off of $1. You know what I'm saying? Crypto isn't regulated like stocks. There are no laws governing crypto. which is why now is the time you want to jump into crypto if you're going to. It's new, it's changing, numbers are always going up and or going down, etc. But you can generally make a profit. If you put in a large amount of money, you can literally make profit sell. When it goes back down, put in the money, make profit sell. Or you can just drop in something like Shiba Inu, and when it goes up, make a huge amount of money and then sell. You just have to keep on it and keep buying and selling because it's unregulated. There is no timing. You can literally sit there with $10,000 on something, and as soon as it goes up in value, even if it's just like a cent in value going up, sell immediately. When it goes back down a cent, buy. When it goes up a cent, sell. Stocks, you can't do that. When you are buying and selling stocks, it is going through a huge regulated process. And if you have too many good faith violations, they lock your account to cash only, and you don't want that to happen. Stocks are heavily regulated, crypto aren't as of now. Once they start putting out laws and shit, you're not going to be able to make a damn bit of profit off of it. The government's going to eat that shit. But until they do get those laws out, if you're thinking about cryptocurrency, now is the time to do it while it's unregulated. Get your money while you can. Even if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, click on any fucking cryptocurrency and look at the variances. If it goes up and down quite often, then all you have to do is spend a day of your time, if you have a decent amount of money saved, of course. Throw money in when it's going down, sell when it goes back up. Throw money in when it goes down, sell when it goes back up. If you have a large amount of money to invest, you can literally make thousands of dollars in a day. If you don't have a large amount of money, then it's going to end up costing you. Again, most interactions cost you $1 to $2 to keep making those interactions back and forth and back and forth. That's what stops people that don't have a large amount of money from getting a large amount of money. That's there to keep you from dipping in that. But if you have a large amount of money to where that 1 cent increase ends up becoming, well, anything more than, $2 and you're making a profit off of it, then you're good to just keep doing that, to keep getting profit over and over and over and over and over. It's instantaneous buys, instantaneous sells. And you can make a lot of money doing that. And again, the more money you throw in, the more money you're going to get back. If you're a broke motherfucker and you're just looking for a decent payout, then you might want to do some research and you might end up taking a lark. But I mean, worst case scenario, you lose $100. You know what I'm saying? You throw $100 in Shiba Inu. If it goes up and you get decent money off of it, cool. If not, you're not even going to lose $100. You're going to lose like $20. And then you say, well, damn, that didn't work. And you can either let that shit sit till it goes back up to $100 and take the $2 cost and get out with 98, or you can wait for it eventually to go up, or you can just let that shit sit there and come check it later on down the line, a year or some other shit in the future, and hope that it went up or whatever. A whole bunch of different things you can do. And if anybody is out there and you're not specifically investing, I'm already an hour over, by the way, in something, whether it's something that gives you a guaranteed payout like a 401k or a stock market or crypto or something like that, with just any type of extra money that you have, even $1 a month will add up if you invest it into the right thing. Anything. Invest in something and continue to invest in it. Even like Shiba Inu, for example. The fucking price of that shit is like a millionth of a cent, like 2 millionths of a cent or something dumb like that. Even $1 can get you like 10,000 in stock. Shiba Inu. You take $1 a month and you throw it in the Shiba Inu and don't even worry about the shit. I mean, obviously you want to look at it and get it when it's lower. not when it's up at its highest. And each time it goes down, buy $1 out of it, buy $1 out of it, buy $1 out of it with just your extra change that you're not using. At the end of the day, if you get a dividend from it, huge, amazing, you got fucking paid. If you didn't, it's your extra fucking pocket change money. It's cents that you're throwing at it that you generally either wouldn't spend or you would just fucking waste on some dumb shit anyway. Throw $1 in on it. I ain't saying when you invest, you have to invest a large amount of money. Just invest something, anything, any small amount that you can make a month. Even if you only have a cent a month. There are penny stock websites and things like that that you can just invest a cent in. Anything. Invest anything in something. Because when you're down on your fucking luck and you ain't got any fucking money or anything like that, and you're like, damn, life sucks, all of that saving will come back and help you. If you're afraid of investing, put that shit in a 401k. If you have a damn good company that'll match you like $1,000 a year, fucking put in about $1,000 a year worth of shit, or at least, a decent amount to be able to double your money every year, or at least get $1,000 every year. That $1,000 that they match every year, you can use for a vacation, hard times, vehicle maintenance, to help you a month off of a bill. It can help you get through your Christmas time. It can help you get through a lot of shit. So use that. 401ks, unless you take the money out, early, or take an advance or some shit, is all profit. So if you can control yourself and just keep money in and just forget about it, have that shit take out like 10% of a paycheck or some shit, or X amount of money, and then forget about it. Act like it don't exist. Ignore it. It'll benefit you in the future. It really will. Either way, I'm 2 hours in and it is 4 o'clock in the goddamn morning. So I am out of here. Thank you, anybody that has stopped by the stream. Anybody will stop by the stream. Anybody has stopped by the stream, or anybody in the future stop by the stream. And as always, supplement your lifestyle. I will see you next time. Keep a level head. Keep going forward. Peace.